Hi, it's Woody Huffines with NerdsToGo in McKinney and Frisco, Texas with your nerd nugget of knowledge for today. Today's nerd nugget is, if it's available, use multi-factor authentication. What is multi-factor authentication? Well, your password is a method of authenticating to a website or a resource that shows that you are authorized or that you can authenticate to that resource. Multi-factor authentication adds another method of authentication that's kind of a backup. Google calls it a two-step sign-in, Facebook calls it multi-factor authentication, but the idea is that if you lose your password because Facebook gets hacked, nobody can go and sign in because they don't have that second factor of authentication. The most popular, the one we're probably most familiar with, is you sign in to a website and they send you a text message on your phone and then you enter that. Well, that would be a second factor of authentication. It adds a great deal of security without a whole lot of pain. In the IT world, we talk about it in three different ways. There's things that you know, things that you have, and things that you are. And those are the three factors of authentication that are most frequently used. So things that you know would be like your password or where you met your wife or what your first dog's name was. We've all seen those. If you go to the bank and change your password, it asks you those security questions. Those security questions are what are called knowledge-based authenticators because they're knowledge-based. Not terribly safe. In our world of Facebook, it probably wouldn't take someone long to find out where you met your wife and what your mother's maiden name is. Sidebar. You don't have to tell them the truth. For example, let's just say you're going to use Volkswagen as your answer for all of them. Where'd you meet your wife? Volkswagen. What was your first dog's name? Volkswagen. And your dad's middle name? Volkswagen. The bank doesn't know any different. You don't have to remember all those things, and it'd be really tough for someone to guess what your multiple security questions were, especially if they were all the same thing. But I digress. The second way that you have multi-factor authentication is something that you have. It's not something that you know, it's something that you have. And we discussed before the break, one of those is your phone. So that when you log into a website, you put in your password and they send a text message to your phone with a 6-digit number that you enter. And that's because you have your phone. So that's the thing that you have is your phone. Adds a great deal of security to a password with that second factor of authentication. Another, and I think even better way, because phones can be spoofed, is an authenticator. Google Authenticator is one, Microsoft Authenticator is another. It's an application that you put on your phone that makes your phone an authentication token. So you put the application on your phone and then you go to Google, for example, and you say, I'm going to use Google Authenticator, and you use your phone to scan a QR code on the website and it links up the two pieces of information, the one on your phone and the one on the Google servers. So then Google, in that application on your phone, the Authenticator app, it runs an 8-digit number that changes every 30 seconds and it changes at random. The thing is, the server at Google knows what the random number is supposed to be for this particular 30 seconds. So when you go log into Google, it asks for the Authenticator code. You open your phone up, a thing that you have, and you put in that Authenticator code and it is tremendously secure. It's a great way to have security. The third thing that you have that's a way of having something is a security token, and it's Yubikey makes one, Google makes one, and it's a key that you carry around with you, and after you sign in you have to stick that key into a USB port or something on the machine, and no one can sign in if they don't have that key or that dongle or that physical piece of hardware. It's a little better than a phone because it's cryptologically secure, but with the Google Authenticator, you should have all you want. Third form of authentication is what you are, facial recognition or fingerprints, for example. My iPhone recognizes my face, my Google phone recognizes my fingerprint. In computers, there used to be fingerprint readers on computers. Haven't seen one in a while. Face recognition is now getting popular with computers, and that's something that you are, like a retinal scan. It's a biometric. That's another factor of authentication. So, multi-factor authentication means that the website or resource that you're going to is asking for multiple factors of authentication. Something you know, something you have, or something you are. Haven't seen any three-factor authentication of late, but that second factor of authentication makes it much, much safer, because after you have a secure password, if that password gets lost in a hacking attack, they still can't get to you because they don't have that thing that they need to get into your account. For example, your phone. So use multi-factor authentication when it's available. It'll make you a lot more secure with not a lot of pain. If you have any questions about how to put this stuff together, give us a call. We'll be happy to explain it to you. I'm Woody Huffines with NerdsToGo in McKinney in Frisco, Texas. Thanks for joining us.